Hello, everyone. This is Jeanette Schliga with VGA, and I am here with the most wonderful person, Sam Williams. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this little interview with us. It's been a while since you and I have had the ability to catch up, and I know that you have moved. Can you share with everyone what's been going on in your life?
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Virginia, born and raised. I do most of my research in Virginia, but work has taken me to New Jersey. So now I'm in central New Jersey. I work in Piscataway and I live in Bound Brook. So right dead in between New York City and Philadelphia.
Oh, wow, that's neat to at least be like within driving distance of both of those places. Should you need to, yeah,
Yeah,
how
it's
long?
happened too. I was in Philly 2 weeks ago. I was in New York City twice last week.
What?
Yeah, so it could be worse, right?
About how many hours or it's because I'm not that familiar, does it take to get to those?
It's like just barely over an hour. So I think by driving it can be under an hour if the traffic isn't too bad. Or you can take a train in like an hour and 15.
Uh-huh. And then you could work on the train. Like you
Yes.
could read. And then
Mhm.
I have often wished that my commute to work, which is only 22 minutes or so, that like I could be doing other things. Like, well,
Yeah, that's come to my mind. Like when I went to the city recently, I was like, I could drive or I could be productive and I could
yeah.
take the train. Exactly.
So, do you have any, you said you were born and raised, in Virginia. Do you have any family lines that came through New Jersey now that you're living in New Jersey?
That is a great question. So as far as I know, none of my family was ever in New Jersey. I have a long line in Connecticut. So my Mayflower line almost immediately, they went to Connecticut after Massachusetts, and they were there for generations. And then they went west across Pennsylvania into Indiana and then to Virginia. And my German ancestors, pretty sure they came into Baltimore and the other one went to Wisconsin for like a hot second and then went to
Mhm.
Virginia. So no one's ever been in New Jersey. So I'm the only one. I lived here 6.5 years ago and then I'm back. So
Mhm.
I feel sort of like a New Jerseyan,
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
not my own family.
enough to get the membership card. Like, hey,
Yeah.
look, here's my address.
My accent to be confused.
And so, do you know, you started to look around? I don't know how settled you've gotten the chance to get in the last couple months. Is there a local genealogical society near you?
So there is a chapter of the Association of Professional Genealogists. Um,
Mhm.
so that's awesome. And I'm really excited about that. I haven't gotten to connect with them yet, but they meet only like 20 minutes from where I'm at.
Mhm.
And happy about that. And there's a couple local societies, like maybe within 30 minutes, I think, because Trenton, New Jersey isn't that far. It's sort of in between me and Philly.
Okay.
And but I haven't gotten to plug in. So
Mhm.
I want to. There's also a historical society that I've like have as a tab on my computer to say like go hang out with these people. Yeah.
Think of all the new friends you're going to make.
I
Like,
know. I want to get to know like my town people, like the people in the courthouse. I just haven't had a chance to go. I've been on the outside of the courthouse and I took pictures and I was like, I'm near here. Like, being so close yet so far.
hmm. And yeah, and like what a refreshing idea though to be like new to an area and start creating that locality guide,
Mhm.
and kind of like what's near me and experiencing it all for the first time, and if you get a chance to visit like even the local public library and see what they've got in their genealogical section, and do they have vertical files or surname folders or what newspapers are around the area, and just how fun. Like
Yeah.
discovery is so much fun.
That's a great point. I'm one of the folks that helps out with the NGS's new course on getting people to work on writing reports and doing research. And one of the things that they do is they do a locality guide. And I got so excited about that idea because I'm, grading other people's locality guides, but now
Yeah.
I'm thinking I need to make a locality guide for my town so
Hmm.
that I can understand where are the records, what counties had they been part of, when, so
Hmm.
that if I wanted to research a family here, I would know where to go. Otherwise,
Hmm.
I'm just dabbling around and confused. So
And I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. I'm not sure. Does NGS, I know they have select states where they have, a guide to researching that state. Do you know if New Jersey is one of them?
I think they do have one. I haven't looked, but that's a great point. The NGS guides, the research guides for each state are really great resources, and you can buy individual ones to have in paperback. Um, and uh, and then also, I know if you have done Progen, anybody out there, anybody that's done a locality guide as part of their Progen progress, we put that all in one collection that we all have access to. So I
Yeah.
also was thinking about that, going and searching through those to see which of them covered New Jersey and what I might be able to glean from that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think for the NGS state guides, I'm pretty sure they have one for New York City, but not New York State. But New York State, where I live, there's the NYG&B. They have their huge like guiding gazetteer that's like a 2-volume thing, which is, like the NGS guide and so much more for each county, kind
Oh,
of
that's
like
awesome.
so.
They
um
probably just didn't want to reinvent the wheel if they already
Right,
had
which
something
is,
like that.
yeah, why NGS probably hasn't put together a New York State one, because you can already kind of purchase one out there. But yeah, how fun. I'm excited for you and happy
Yeah.
and everything like that.
Just need to have a data to do it when they're open.
Yes, that I completely understand. So coming up for VGA, you're going to be sharing a topic called collaboration after slavery. And I was wondering if you could share with us a little bit about what we're going to learn from you.
Sure. So this is a topic that I care about a lot, and it's something that I've thought about. And I wanted to be careful when I put together this talk that it's not it's really directed towards people whose ancestors were enslaving others. Because most African American genealogists, they they're doing their own work and they know what they're doing, right?
Mhm.
I'm kind of trying to direct this talk to those that maybe kind of ignoring what their own ancestors were doing, or they kind of are looking past these things because they're only focusing on collecting dates and these details. When we need to really be aware of what is in our hands and what are we doing with what we have.
Mhm.
So if we have this information that is valuable or invaluable, right, for so
Yeah.
many other people and their families, then we need to be able to have eyes to see it, collect it, and then somehow present it or have it available for other people. And it's something that I've tried doing, and I'm going to also talk about the role of DNA testing in all of this as well,
That's
because
what was going through my mind as you were
uh,
talking.
it's a powerful method of connection. And there's so many different things that I've been able to do with connecting with my cousins where I didn't know they existed. They didn't know I existed. And we connected through DNA testing. And then we had family reunions where we were all in the same room and we all looked different, right? And but we could all trace our descendants from one man. And I'll talk more about that as well on Tuesday. But it's just really beautiful because we have to be careful in these conversations and how we have these conversations, that they're had with respect and and just kind of an open heart. Because we can't, I've talked a couple years ago with VJ as well about not kind of demanding access to certain information or demanding access to kind of personal stories of others, but we also have to be careful when we share these connections, right? Like, oh, I'm your ancestors enslavers descendant. Like, okay, not everyone wants to know that.
Yeah.
But if we're like, hey, I have this information about your ancestor and it might be something that you'd be interested in. So it's kind of where I'm coming from with this presentation.
And I love the way that you just summarized it. You can tell how careful you've been about a sensitive topic, and I recall, when there was, who do you think you are, or things like that, when they would find some lines, certain actors were like, do we really need to open this up publicly, that I had someone in my family tree that I'm not necessarily proud of, or like I don't want to encourage that, those beliefs aren't my current beliefs, and everything like that. And so it is a really difficult conversation, and thank you for being brave enough to open it up and to like allow the rest of us to be like, in a safe place to have, those discussions and everything like that. So thank you,
Yeah.
Sam.
And I also want to encourage, and as I'll talk about the way that you can kind of create those relationships with your DNA cousins and how those can become opportunities for mutual respect, but also doing research together.
Mhm.
And, now you have people that you can share information that's valuable for them and they can find stuff that's valuable for you as well. And it's, um, there's opportunities out there. So more connection is out there. And, for people like me, where the vast majority of my ancestors were enslavers, we really can't get away from it. Like it's, if I were to ignore all of my ancestors that were enslavers, I would have no one to research, and so I just kind of have to have, there's there's an expression in Greek, tamata su ekatosia. I'm not saying it right. My brain just turned off, but it
Yeah.
means like have um have 100 eyes, you know, have your eyes open, kind of have your eyes peeled. And if we have our eyes closed, we aren't going to see all the amazing things and the resources in our records that we're looking at.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Sam. I'm really looking forward to your upcoming presentation, as I'm sure everyone else is going to be too, that have connections like what you've mentioned in their family tree, and so thank you. We're really looking forward to it, and we'll see you soon.
Sweet. See everybody on Tuesday.